Bro, you gotta feel if you're the Bear Drew because he is the same through and through, regardless who he fights, win or lose. He's going to do his move around the octagon where he stares you down. He's going to be nose to nose with you. The thing is, man, Johnny Walker might be a playful, goofy, charismatic guy, but he said it in the post-fight interview. He says, I don't give a fuck. I will beat everybody. I will be double champion like Daniel Cormier. I'm the guy. So when you held that self-belief, even though the results haven't gone the way that you want, and you know, he said it in the pre-show, bro. He says, Paul Craig just needs to blink wrong once and I can knock him out. Well, he went in, it looked like he was going in on the single and then trying to tree trunk him or tree top him or whatever you call it, where you lift the leg up and you off balance him to get the takedown, but didn't realize, oh yeah, this dude's 6'6" with like an 80+ inch reach and he could still hit me even when I have him here. Even more so because both of my hands are caught on his leg. So I have no way to defend myself. First shot, boom. Johnny Walker missed with the second one, couple lead-up shots, and it was all over from there. 2 questions. 1, Paul Craig, are we realizing? I mean, listen, if you can pull guard and you can get to your spots, you're as dangerous as they come. But there's now a little bit of a gap in between actually being able to accomplish that position, and that's going to be problematic for you being a top 10 fighter. So let's start with there. I mean, what do you think about that?
What's crazy and what just hit my mind is it's wild that Paul Craig has made it as successful in this division as he is when he's basically a Chase Hooper. And no disrespect to either of either Chase Hooper or Paul Craig, but you're so good at the ground game and you're such a technician at one sport and one aspect of it. But you basically your stand up is null and void. Like you don't really, it's not existent to a level that the rest of the division is. So how did you make it this far to be fighting a guy like Johnny Walker, who, like you said, Derek, hit you once, put you to sleep, and your hands weren't even up at your head? You were trying to, like you said, tree trunk a dude who's 6'6". Like, this isn't the smartest way to go about what he did and get cracked on like that with that kind of power, man. It doesn't bode well for Paul Craig.
Yeah, it's tough though, because if he would have got the takedown, then we wouldn't be having this conversation. We'd be like, "Oh, Paul Craig, you're a genius, right?"
But it's that submission aspect. The same thing with the Chase Hooper and that. If you can get him to the ground, game over.
Yeah.
How, you know?
But how do you do it, right? Johnny Walker, though, I just thought that I feel like if you came into this with an unbiased perspective, you can see from 100 miles away, this is not the best matchup for Paul Craig. This is actually a very, very bad matchup because it's not like Johnny Walker can't do jiu-jitsu. It's not like he has no ground game. If he had no ground game, it'd be different. But it's like if he does get to the ground, he still can fend off a lot of these issues. Either way, Johnny Walker immediately back into the top 10. So when we take a very, very quick peek at what the top 10 is looking like in the light heavyweight division, which is clearly up for grabs at this point, right? I mean, we're looking like we got some problems on our hands here, man. I would love to see a Ryan Spann, Johnny Walker. Let's line that one up. Ryan Spann's training now, right? You still got, look, Jamal Hill goes from number 7 to champion. Isn't that a beautiful story right there? You got a lot of fun fights for this dude because you got a lot of people in the old guard. You got Magomed Ankalaev, who should probably be in that title mix still there. Jan Blachowicz, Rakic when he gets healthy, Krylov still. Man, we got a lot of fun fights here. Can Johnny Walker, does he have the whatever you want to call it, the oomph, you know what I'm saying, to really make a run here in this light heavyweight division, which is the most open it has ever been in the last legitimately like 10 plus years?
100%, man. Especially if we see the Johnny Walker that we saw perform last night or Saturday night, where he was reading, he was calculated, he was patient, and he sees his openings, and he still is a dog enough to risk it and take his shots. Mm-hmm. Johnny Walker is going to be a dangerous animal, man, and I think so. I mean, he's going to have some hard fights, like you said, Rakic, Ankalaev. There's a lot. Even Krylov's a difficult fight. We'll see how Smith performs after the whole weight debacle and all that stuff, but he's still a dog. Smith can still perform, man. So it's going to be a lot of fun in the 205-pound weight class division coming forward.
And what does it mean to you, man? Literally through like Jones and Cormier, right? They held the division down for 10 years. In like a year and a half, there's been like 4 new champions, you know what I'm saying, in the light heavyweight division. Like, I just wonder who's going to be the next guy who holds it down. It could be Jamal Hill. It could be Yuri Prochazka, right? It could be one of those guys. But it's such a stacked division right now. It's going to be fun to talk about. But, all right, man.